I never believed in ghosts or spirits. I'm not even sure I do now. But what happened to me at Willow Creek changed something inside me. Something I can't ever get back. I was working as a freelance photographer, and I'd gotten a gig shooting landscapes for a real estate company. They wanted photos of an abandoned property called Willow Creek, a sprawling but decaying estate tucked deep into the woods. The place was going up for auction, and they wanted to showcase its rustic charm, as they put it. When I arrived, the air felt wrong. The driveway was choked with weeds, and the house loomed ahead like a corpse refusing to decay. Its windows were dark, and the paint peeled in long, curling strips. The surrounding forest seemed unnaturally quiet. No birds, no rustling leaves, just silence. I stepped inside, my boots echoing on the warped floorboards. The air smelled stale, a mix of mildew and something metallic, like blood. The house was freezing, colder than it should have been for a late autumn day. I told myself it was just the lack of insulation, snapped a few shots of the entryway, and moved deeper in. That's when I heard it. A faint creak upstairs. I froze, every hair on my body standing on end. "Hello," I called, my voice trembling. No answer. Just another creak, this one slower, deliberate. I was alone, or at least I was supposed to be. I climbed the stairs cautiously, my camera strap digging into my shoulder. The second floor was worse than the first. The walls were covered in dark stains, and the smell was stronger here. As I rounded the corner into what looked like a bedroom, I felt it, a cold breath against the back of my neck. Spinning around, I found nothing, but my camera, hanging loosely from my neck, had begun snapping pictures on its own, each click like a gunshot in the silence. The lens pointed at the empty hallway behind me. I brought the camera up to review the photos, my hands trembling. The first few were blank, just the dim hallway. But then, in one frame, there was a figure. A woman in a tattered dress, her face obscured by tangled black hair. She stood at the far end of the hall, staring directly into the camera. I looked up, heart hammering in my chest. The hallway was empty. I should have left right then. Any sane person would have. But I told myself the image was a trick of the light, a glitch. I pressed on, snapping more pictures. In one of the other rooms, I found a journal lying on a broken desk. Its leather cover was cracked, and the pages smelled of rot. The entries were written in a shaky hand, recounting strange occurrences. A woman crying at night, mirrors shattering on their own, shadows moving where there shouldn't be any. The last entry read, "She's here, watching me, waiting for me to leave so she can have this place to herself again. But I can't leave. I belong to her now." I slammed the journal shut and bolted for the stairs, my pulse pounding in my ears. But as I reached the landing, the air grew heavy, like I was wading through water. The temperature dropped further, my breath clouding in front of me. Then I saw her. She stood at the bottom of the staircase, the same woman from the photo. Her head tilted unnaturally to the side, and her eyes, or the empty, black voids where her eyes should have been, locked onto mine. "You shouldn't have come," she whispered, her voice echoing like it came from everywhere and nowhere. The next thing I knew, I was outside, my car keys clenched in my hands so tightly they left imprints. I didn't remember running. I didn't remember opening the door. But I was in my car, engine roaring as I sped away from Willow Creek. When I developed the photos later, the images chilled me to the core. She was in every single one, standing in doorways, lurking in shadows, staring directly at the camera. I told the real estate company the photos were unusable and begged them to find someone else for the job. I never went back to Willow Creek. The house sold a few months later. The new owners didn't last a week. They claimed they heard crying at night, that objects moved on their own, that they saw a woman in a tattered dress staring at them from the end of the hall. They left everything behind and never returned. I don't know what haunts Willow Creek, but whatever it is, it doesn't want company.